Welcome to Table Talk Reviews. I'm Matt Mitchell. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at BOG, a two-player frog battle designed by Chris Handy and published by Perplex Games as part of the Pack-O Games series, which all come in this tiny little gum-sized box and have a equally short three-letter name. Let's take a look at how BOG plays, and then I'll share my thoughts. To set up the game, place the 9 lily pad cards in a 3x3 grid, and then place a fly on the 3 middle lily pads, like so. Choose a random start player and shuffle all of the frog cards, giving 2 cards to the first player and 3 cards to the next player. Then place the rest of the deck off to the side and reveal 3 frogs. On your turn, you must perform one of the 4 actions. You can play a frog card from your hand, advance a frog along its route, complete a frog's route, or score a formation. To play a frog card from your hand, simply choose one and add it to your shore in front of the lily pads. You can have a maximum of 2 frogs in your shore at any one time. To advance a frog, choose one of your frogs that has been previously played and advance it to the next lily pad indicated on the top half of the card. This frog on the shore would move to this front middle lily pad, so we can do that. On a future turn, you could move it to the next lily pad here in the middle. Frogs are distinguished between players by the direction they're facing. So a frog placed this way would be your opponent's frog. This is my frog. When moving your frog, if you land on a fly card, if I move this to the next lily pad, I would land on this fly card. I'll move this fly card to any unoccupied lily pad. I might do this here, and then draw a card, either one of the 3 face up or the top card of the deck. If while advancing one of your frogs, you would move onto your own frog, it is captured and given to your opponent for 1 point. To track points throughout the game, you'll take the frog card and flip it over and rotate it in your score area so the right amounts of points are at the top. In the rare case where you advance a frog onto a lily pad with a fly and all other lily pads are occupied by frogs or other flies, the fly is just removed from the game and added to your score pile. You still draw your card as usual. When frogs reach the final lily pad of their route, they will remain in play until you take an action to complete their route. So here I could choose to complete this route and add it to my score pile for 2 points. All completed routes are worth 2 points. The last action you can do on your turn is score a formation. On the bottom half of the frog cards in your hand, you'll see lily pads with check marks. If there are frogs in those lily pads, you can score points. It doesn't matter whether they're your frogs or your opponent's frogs, and you can score 1, 2, or 3. If all 3 lily pads are occupied, you'll score 3 points. If only 1 is occupied, you'll score 1 point. Here, this formation is complete with 3 frogs on those indicated lily pads, so I can flip it over and add it to my score pile for 3 points. The game ends as soon as either player can take no action on their turn. In this situation, I have no cards in hand, so I can't play a frog. I can't advance any frogs because the only frogs out there belong to my opponent. I can't score a formation because I have no cards in hand, and I can't complete a route, so the game would end. If there are cards remaining in the draw pile, I simply lose for not being able to take an action on my turn. If all of the cards have been removed from the draw pile, then whoever has the most points in their score area wins the game. That's everything you need to know to play BOG. Like its box, I'm going to keep this review nice and tiny because there's not a lot to say. BOG is an excellent game, a great, well-designed, 2-player abstract game. I like it that there are all the plans laid out on the cards for you, so you can see the moves available to your opponent and work out that timing without having to think through a ton of different possibilities like some other abstract games. I really like multi-use cards as a mechanic, so this game really hits for me in that regard, being able to either play your cards to move them on the lily pads or keep them back in your hand to try to score those formations for points. That is a really cool thing. Not to mention that they're used to keep track of the score themselves by flipping them over. That's just really cool from a design perspective. This and all the other Paco games are really great for their novelty of being so tiny and putting them in your pocket, going to a game night, and people are like, "You didn't bring any games this time?" Well, actually, and you pull out this tiny little box and everyone's like, "Whoa, what is that?" But BOG is more than that novelty. It is an excellent game, so I hope you'll check it out. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.